Hi, my name is Melissa Hood. Welcome to Art History 2 and Basic Drawing. The students can receive OCC credits for both Arts 182 and 183 in this course. So I just want to go over my slides that I show them on the first day so you can get an idea of what we go over in the class. So let's see if I can get this right. Here's my art history slides. Of course, the computer's just taking a minute here. Good. So hopefully you're getting all of this. The slides here say Art 181 and 182. I apologize, it's 182 and 183. This I will update, and this can also be found by the students in the Google Classroom. So anyway, how to get an A in art history. The students need to come with a good attitude every day. They should be prepared. They should be on time. If they're meeting with us from home, same thing. Just make sure that you are there. You are ready to learn. You are prepared. They should have their sketchbook with them all of the time. Bring it to class every day. All of the notes should be in the sketchbook. I also do just about every assignment in the sketchbook, so it's just very important that they have it all the time. Most of the class is conversation based, so students are discussing the class or discussing the artworks that I present to them. And we do a lot of just talking about our thoughts about the artwork and then also the art's significance during its time. One thing I always warn the students about is that there are lots of nude bodies, and some art is offensive and disturbing and provocative, and we deal with that because that's, you know, part of humanity, and that's what happens in this course. But luckily in Arts 182 we don't see too much craziness. We're going to look mostly at art from medieval times through the Renaissance all the way up through Impressionism. So I encourage the students to make sure that they are staying on top of things, not getting too far behind. You know, definitely make sure that you're not plagiarizing. We talk about, you know, just what is art, what makes it important, how is art dated, how is art created, so what mediums were the artists using, and what techniques do they use within those mediums. The students will be able to identify artworks, identify the characteristics of specific artists. They'll know dates, they'll know the cultural significance. Why was this artist important in their time? We use basic art vocabulary, so we're constantly talking about the elements of the art, the principles of design, how did the artist employ all of these different things to create successful artworks. And then we do use this method for writing about art, which I use for just about all of the assignments. I think that's all I want to share with parents for this part. And then I will share with you what we're doing in basic drawing. Okay, so basic drawing is Arts 183 with OCC if your child is taking the credits. The students will work all within the medium of drawing. So there's a strong emphasis on drawing from life. I'll set up still lifes. If your child is home, then I'll give them little assignments, things they could find around the home or outside to work on as far as drawing goes. And I also try to incorporate what we're doing in art history with the type of drawing that we're doing in class. In the, in the basic drawing class. Students will be exposed to a variety of mediums. They're going to experiment with pencil, charcoal, pastel, pen and ink, a little bit of collage. We've done all kinds of sorts of things with different mediums and with different types of papers and surfaces. We're going to start out in this class drawing with perspective. So we're going to be looking at a lot of architecture. Students will be doing up to 3-point perspective, and I'm sure they will impress you with those skills. Students need to think a lot about their studio practice, which is their time spent in the studio, or meaning with me, our art making time, how we perceive the assignment, how we set our goals for the assignment, plan what we're going to do, and then how we make the plan into a finished product. Also, I try to encourage the students to make sure that their art is telling a story. So when I talk about visual literacy, I'm telling the students to make sure that what they're creating is telling us something. It's not just a painting of, a seashell, but what's the story of that seashell? How do we give it character? How do we make it our own? How do we use line, texture, value to add to the subject to create something beautiful or something horrendous? And how do we communicate with the viewer what we want them to think about our feelings of the subject? The grading breakdown you will see is very heavily based on the projects, and that's because that's where we spend most of our time. Again, you can see that sketchbook assignment grade is very high. Now, this was before everybody was home with COVID, so I've actually lumped the homework and sketchbook assignment together. Students will critique their art on a regular basis. This is where we sit down as a class and we just talk about what the student did to create a successful artwork. This is their chance to gain insights from their peers, what went well, what didn't go well. It's just constructive time that we have together to help improve upon ourselves. All of the grading is done with a rubric, so it's not based on how good the student does. They're given the rubric when they're given the assignment, so they can go through the rubric as they work and make sure that they're meeting all of the requirements. And I had already gone over this with the students. Seems like everybody has a sketchbook and nobody needs to worry about any of these other supplies. I've got everything covered. So let's see. Okay. If you have any questions, my email is mhood@mail.ocbts.org. That's the best way to get in touch with me because I travel between Mates and Alps. So email is definitely best because it's unlikely that you'll be able to reach me by phone. Plus, my office is not attached to the classroom that I'm actually teaching the class in. So anyway, don't be shy. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Thank you.